Villainous ice cream, Beauty and the Beast desserts, and controversial intergalactic snacks. When it comes to snacking around Disney World, the only place you're going to find these treats is right here in Hollywood Studios. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Hollywood Studios is an underrated snack park. Sure, the restaurants might not always be our all-time favorites, but when it comes to really unique sweet treats and savory snacks and seasonal specialties, Hollywood Studios does not mess around. So let's see what exclusive snacks we can find around this Disney park today, and maybe we'll even surprise you with some treats you didn't even realize existed. We're going to go the limited time route first because there is a lot of seasonal stuff in Hollywood Studios. So limited time sundaes and shakes. Over on Sunset Boulevard right now, the Hollywood Scoop snack stand serves up ice cream shakes and sundaes year-round. But that's not exactly an exclusive Disney World snack. But what makes this place exclusive is its seasonal specialty ice cream treats. Recently, Hollywood Scoops has been featuring Villains-themed ice cream treats in honor of the new Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After show that premiered off Sunset Boulevard. And you can order a Hades ice cream float made with blue raspberry slush and vanilla ice cream, topped with blue curacao syrup, boba pearls, and blue cotton candy. Sugar Rush, anyone? Or there's the Maleficent cone made with butter pecan ice cream topped with red sugar and chocolate horns, served in a lavender waffle cone that's dipped in white chocolate and green sugar. This one gets really messy. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it is pretty delicious. Now, if you're an annual pass holder, you can also get the AP exclusive Cruella Sundae, which is cookies and cream ice cream topped with chocolate syrup, whipped cream, red sprinkles, and mini chocolate chips, all served in a house-made chocolate waffle bowl that's dipped in white chocolate and red sprinkles. Now, that's what's there now, but as soon as Halloween treats roll around or holiday treats roll around, you're going to see completely different stuff on the menu here. So always keep an eye on Hollywood Scoops, keep an eye on our newsletter. We're going to update you every time this menu changes out. Next up is my beloved carrot cake cookie, and I know it's not the carrot cake cookie anymore. They call it the carrot cake whoopie pie or whatever, but I met this dessert way back when it was at the former Writer's Stop, and that's what it was called on their menu. So call me nostalgic, but the carrot cake cookie will always be the carrot cake cookie to me. Anyway, now it's over at Trolley Car Cafe. It's been in like 3 different places: Writer's Stop, Sweet Spells, which doesn't exist anymore, and finally now it's at Trolley Car. I'm just glad they haven't gotten rid of it. Just, let's just, be grateful, okay? Gratitude, everybody. Now, regardless of what you decide to call it, this is a gem. It's an iconic treat made with loads of cream cheese frosting sandwiched between 2 delicious cakey carrot cake cookies. It's also huge, so you can share it with a friend or just snack on it all day. If you've got a Ziploc bag handy, you can store it in. Sometimes that carrot cake cookie gets a little seasonal overlay, like the red velvet version that sometimes comes around during the holidays. And we never tend to like that version nearly as much as the original, but the carrot cake cookie is sweet and moist and spongy, and it always comes back. But word of advice, let it thaw a little bit before you dig in. This is some of that learning that I got, a few years ago. I had loved the carrot cake cookie forever, but I had never had it served to me quite as cold as it comes out of the trolley car refrigerated section. And so what I do now to make sure that that frosting inside isn't sort of hard and gummy is I just let it sit for a little bit, and wonder of wonders, it miraculously turns back into that fabulous frosting texture. I don't know how it does it, but it does. So just let it sit for a little bit, bring it to your hotel room, let it hang out. You're going to have a much better experience with it. Now, I'm going to rant a little bit really quickly here. While working on today's script, there were several different Hollywood Studios snack items that my scriptwriter Bria and I had to track down and loop our DFB reporters in on because several of them had been recently swapped out or moving to other restaurant menus or just disappearing altogether. Disney's doing a wild sort of snack calling right now. So when this happens, and this happens every once in a while, that Disney's just like, let's change it all up, and we have to go figure out what they're going to do next. Anyway, we had to go in and update all of our free snack maps that show off our top 10 snacks in every park and where to currently track them down, because we don't want to be sending you any outdated info. The thing is, this is a pretty regular occurrence on the Disney scene. Snacks come and go and return all the time, so if you need that updated list sent your way so you know where to track all these treats down before you get into the parks, scan the QR code you see on the screen, or if you're currently watching this on your phone, head to disneyfoodblog.com/bestsnacks after this so you can get a completely updated version of those snack maps because they are changing some stuff around. Okay, trying to be really careful about the things I'm going to be pointing out as exclusive in Galaxy's Edge because a lot of these Batuu-inspired snacks can also be found in Disneyland out on the West Coast, right? But that doesn't mean they're all dupes. Take the Black Spire Mousse at Docking Bay 7 in Hollywood Studios. The Black Spire Mousse is a white chocolate Jogan fruit mousse atop a brownie brittle that's served with blue milk sauce, pineapple cream, and hibiscus sponge, all adorned with a chocolate Black Spire coin. There are two main things I can say about this dessert. One, it is super pretty, and two, it is super fruity. The pineapple cream is like if you were to take a classic pineapple Dole Whip and give it a whipped cream consistency, which is like one of the highest compliments I could give something, especially an intergalactic delicacy. As far as the blue milk cream is concerned, it gets a little lost when it's all mixed in with those fruity flavors, especially when it's fighting against that sort of passion fruit for all us earth dwellers. But I'd much rather my dessert be heavier on the fruit flavors than the blue milk flavor anyways. The hibiscus also gets a little lost, but that little purple sponge still has a nice texture and color to it for the whole presentation. The brownie does have pistachio sprinkled on top, and while that pistachio is very sparse, you're going to want to steer clear of this treat if you've got a nut allergy. All in all, we enjoy this dessert in all its citrusy sweet tones, but if you're not a fan of tropical fruits, especially not paired with chocolate, you're probably going to want to find a different sugary option during your visit to Batuu. Now, let's say you're more of a blue milk fan and you don't want your blue milk to disappear inside a dessert. Well, blue and green milk is served at the milk stand in both Hollywood Studios and Disneyland. The Tenu Swirl Crunchies is unique to the milk stand in Hollywood Studios and just might become your kid's new favorite Disney beverage. Now, don't be fooled. This version of blue milk isn't actually topped with cereal. It's topped with raspberry jelly and a mini rainbow crunchy candy like Nerds. This literally tastes like a Nerds rope that's been melted and blended inside the blue milk, so it's very sweet, but the tartness of the candies helps to break that up a little bit if that's what you're looking for. I think this thing is redonkulous, but I think the kids are going to love it. Now, since the blue milk isn't all that sweet to begin with, it's actually a nice base for the sugary jelly and candies to hang out. Again, kids will love this for its flavor and its colorful appearance. Not to mention, it's in Galaxy's Edge, and that might be enough reason for you as a Star Wars fan to give this one a try. So I've got a love-hate relationship with the Wookie Cookie from Backlot Express in Echo Lake lately. It's mostly love, but I'm just not as fond of it as I used to be. Regardless, you're not going to find this dessert outside of Hollywood Studios, and you might still really love it next time you order it. And let me clarify, there is a Wookie Cookie over in Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge. Not the same. Not the same at all. Actually totally different. And I'm not going to say it's not better. It's different, but it's still really good. So if you get the Wookie Cookie over in Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland during May the 4th, that whole Season of the Force time frame, it's really good. Anyway, I've talked too much about that already. This is about Hollywood Studios. Okay, so the Wookie Cookie in Studios is made out of 2 thick oatmeal cookies that sandwich a glob of vanilla cream filling. So it's like an OCP, right? Oatmeal cream pie. The top cookie is also garnished with a milk chocolate sash, making it look like this dessert is cosplaying as the lovable Star Wars character Chewbacca. There's truly no issue with this one other than the consistency. Sometimes the cookies are nice and moist, other times they're too crunchy for our liking, and then sometimes the icing is very generous, while other times we feel like we've been cheated out of it. So, go in with an open mind if you order this treat. You might really love it, or it might leave something to be desired. But the one thing you can say about it for sure is that you're going to want to get a picture with it because it is a cutie pie. The fact that this is my second snack recommendation in a row off of Sunset Boulevard is a little bit humbling because in the past I've not really liked snacking and munching around this market area, but it's really been growing on me, at least in some context of some menus. I always say we are 100% willing to change our opinion on things if Disney does a better job. So that may be what's going on here. We'll see. Jury's out. Regardless, let's talk about what's going on at Fairfax Fair. Once upon a time, Fairfax Fair was previously home to gourmet hot dogs. Those hot dogs have since moved over to Dockside Diner in Echo Lake, which gave Fairfax Fair the chance to debut 4 savory waffle bowl options, which we like a whole lot more than the hot dogs, honestly. No offense, hot dogs, you're still great. The waffle bowl flavor options at Fairfax include buffalo chicken, barbecue beef brisket, Korean barbecue pork belly, and soba noodle salad. That last one is a plant-based option. That way, everyone who wants to try a waffle bowl can do so. And while the noodle salad is crisp and flavorful, the only way you're going to get those warm and fluffy mashed potatoes in your waffle bowl is with the meat-topped options. Just something to keep in mind, because those mashed potatoes are creamy and buttery and help make up for the fact that you can't really get a jacket potato or a baked potato as a snack in Disney World anymore at all, which is very unfortunate, and that is a different soapbox for a different day. Anyway, Fairfax Fair is also home of the Enchanted Rose dessert, which is a Beauty and the Beast themed treat made with dark chocolate mousse, a taste of blackcurrant and morello cherry chocolate shortbread cookie, whipped cookies and cream fluff, and gilded chocolate covered cacao nibs. I know, there's a lot going on here. The mousse in this treat has a lot of cherry flavoring. There are even small bits of cherries featured throughout it too, so you gotta really love cherry and have a major sweet tooth to like this one. Now, we didn't used to prioritize lounge bites during our past visits to Oga's Cantina, but now that Oga's has had a couple of new snack-worthy items, we feel a whole lot more inclined. Even if you don't know anything about the menu at Oga's, all you longtime DFB viewers could probably still guess the characteristics of my favorite food item currently here. It's something carby, it's also something cheesy, an AJ Wolf specialty. The Umbaran cheese roll is a spice-dusted pretzel bun stuffed with herbed cheese, love an herb cheese, and a dipping sauce that tastes a lot like a thin honey mustard. This guy's crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, all around warm with a lovely bit of creamy cheese. Not cream cheese, just creamy cheese. This cheese roll does have quite a bit of spice to it, but it doesn't pack a wild amount of heat, rather like a spiced pimento cheese. Then there's the sweetness of the honey mustard sauce, which works really well with the spices from the bread and gives it an elevated flavor you might not find complementing other cheese bread snacks out there. Another exclusive snack I'd recommend from Oga's, if you're looking for something a bit more substantial to go along with your boozy beverage, is the Thruster Roasted Bantha Flatbread for $17. This snack is a naan flatbread topped with spiced chorizo beef and a 4-cheese blend. This one's got some unexpected sweet spices to it, like cinnamon and nutmeg. Unexpected, but pleasant regardless. But if you're wanting an ultra cheesy snack, don't let the 4-cheese blend fool you. You're still better off with the Umbaran cheese roll because this flatbread's cheeses are subtle. That being said, that might also be a big reason why you want to try the flatbread, since it's the spiced chorizo and tomato sauce of this dish that are the two most prominent flavors here. Then there's the crust, which is thin but soft. That was also unexpected when we first tried it. And while it's a good tasting crust, I almost wished for something a bit more sturdy to help keep my toppings from running off the bread. Overall, solid option for those who want to get adventurous with their snacking without getting too far out of their comfort zone. Speaking of getting out of your comfort zone, you're probably familiar with those classic sweet churros, but over at Ice Cold Hydraulics, you can get a churro snack that's both sweet and savory. The Bouncin' Mini Churros are topped with Coca-Cola and bourbon candied bacon, sriracha aioli, and scallions. So, soda and aioli, those are like two of my biggest personality traits. While the churros themselves are just regular old mini cinnamon sugar churros, it's definitely the toppings on these dudes that really make this snack unique. The bacon adds a nice salty element, the Coca-Cola and bourbon flavor come through quite prominently without being overpowering. The scallion flavor is light and chopped up into teeny tiny bits, and the sriracha aioli might sound like the heat is packed into these churros, but the aioli still manages to be pretty tame, unless you're completely heat averse. I definitely recommend tossing around your churros before digging in just to make sure that aioli is evenly dispersed instead of strictly piled onto the first churro bites. The candied painted cinnamon rolls here are also unique to Ice Cold Hydraulics, made with mini cinnamon rolls that are topped with Coca-Cola infused glaze and candied nuts. But honestly, they're not really our favorite place to grab a Cinny Roll in Disney. That's reserved for Gaston's Tavern and Magic Kingdom, and maybe the brand new cinnamon roll with that caramel and praline, like the whole pecan thing going on over at Westward Ho in Magic Kingdom. I just talked about that in another video. I can't remember which one, but it's brand new. Now, the hand-painted cinnamon rolls have a slightly smoky flavor to them over at Ice Cold Hydraulics, and the soda goblin in me will always appreciate the innovative incorporation of sodas and treats, but they're just a little too much on the dry side for our liking, and $9 is pretty steep. However, you might want to give them a taste if you're using that Disney Dining Plan snack credit to purchase them, since that's going to give you more bang for your buck from your snack credit redemptions. When it comes to the DFB team, Woody's Lunchbox has a big old gravitational pull. Its sweet and savory snacks are crave-worthy, and the prices aren't terrible in Disney speak. And this place has also recently heard our cries for more shaded seating. It's the little things that become the biggest reasons to celebrate when your office is literally Disney World, right? Now, one of the more unique offerings at this snack window are the Lunchbox tarts, which are like Hollywood Studios' version of a Pop-Tart with lots of yummy icing on top that Bria will apparently never understand the appeal of. The Lunchbox tart you're most likely going to find here is the raspberry version, which is a raspberry marmalade stuffed pastry coated into strawberry fondant and crispy pearls. But Woody's Lunchbox also releases seasonal Lunchbox tarts too. Most recently, we've seen the PB&J version here, a peanut butter-filled pastry topped with grape jelly fondant, purple sprinkles, and gold crispy pearls. But you're going to want to check that online menu before you go to see what featured Lunchbox tart is going to be available during your visit. And while tachos aren't unique to the Disney World scene anymore, Woody's Lunchbox definitely paved the way for the new tacho era. And the tachos at Woody's Lunchbox are still different than the tachos you're going to find at other Disney locations. In the morning, you can order the breakfast tachos, which serve up a hearty portion of potato barrels smothered in smoked brisket country gravy, scrambled eggs, and a sprinkling of green onions. There's also a kid's version of the same thing if you're looking for a lighter portion at a lighter price point. Meanwhile, during lunch and dinner, the tachos switch out their gravy and brisket for a savory dish that's more reminiscent of a taco salad. The potato barrels in the afternoon have beef and bean chili, shredded cheese, a signature queso, tomatoes, corn chips, sour cream, and a sprinkle of green onions. It's a lot. Okay, I really don't understand the appeal of the Outpost mix at Katsaka's Kettle and Galaxy's Edge, but Bria does, so I'm going to hand the mic over to her.
This is probably the best illustration we could give you of how polarizing the Outpost mix popcorn is. Some like it, like me. Some wouldn't touch it with a 39.5-foot pole, like AJ. But I tend to get it quite often in Galaxy's Edge just because it's different and not heavy, and it isn't a terrible price for a snack that's so easy to share. The Outpost mix comes with purple and red grains, and unlike the blue buttered grains that you can also find at Katsaka's, which is literally just buttered popcorn, only blue, the different colors mean something in the Outpost mix. The purple is sweeter, kind of like a light blueberry flavoring, but I prefer digging around in the bag and grabbing all the red ones I can find because those taste like they've been spiced with just a little bit of chili seasoning, which gives them a little kick without burning your tongue. For me, the Outpost mix tastes like a semi-spicy version of a whole bag of kettle corn.
But for me, the Outpost mix is just weird popcorn with disconcerting flavors. Now, if you want to skip the popcorn debacle completely, you can always go the coffee route instead and get the cold brew black calf from Katsaka's, which admittedly is still fairly polarizing with the DFB crew. But it just might become your new favorite Disney pick-me-up if you're a fan of cold brew and sweet cream cheese. And you also happen to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Nope, not just pork rinds. Krill Pork rinds. To be fair, you'll usually find us hitting up Ronto roasters and prioritizing their featured Ronto wraps, which you can also find over in Disneyland. But if you're looking for a light, exclusive, and savory snack between meals, the Krill Pork rinds are seasoned with a unique assortment of spices, including ancho chili, cheddar, smoke, and cinnamon. Don't knock them till you try them, folks. These brown bag snacks are packed with flavor. The super crispiness of the rinds, along with a mix of sweet and savory seasonings, really works here. Now, there are a lot of seasonings on these rinds, which totally isn't a bad thing, but it will coat your fingers similar to the cheese dust from those Cheeto Puffs, so come prepared with plenty of napkins and wet wipes. Dining and snacking around Hollywood Studios is a wonderfully weird and memorable experience, but if you're looking for further proof of that, make sure to check out our video covering the best things to eat in Hollywood Studios next. And don't forget to download our free Disney World snack maps over at disneyfoodblog.com/bestsnacks. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.